God bless you, listeners, and welcome to SendMe Radio. Today we'll be doing another video on a godly marriage. This video was influenced by a sister by the name of Korra Obidi. Her marriage basically dismantled on social media. Her husband, left her after giving birth to her baby of 3 or 4 days old. And we were so touched by this, we decided to make this video. So I want you to like, share, and don't forget to subscribe to SendMe Radio. Share it with all your friends and family. We're also on YouTube, so don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're on Spotify, Amazon Music, Google, Apple Podcasts. Just search for SendMe Radio. Hello, my people. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are watching and listening from in the world. Welcome to Send Me Radio, where we promote the gospel. Help us to be a good gospel spreader by subscribing to this channel and clicking the notification bell so you can be notified when new messages and videos are being uploaded. Also, subscribe to us on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Music, and Google and Apple Podcasts. Just search for us, Send Me Radio. We are everywhere. Today we are going to continue on the topic of godly marriage. This topic has gained confounding notoriety recently in the church due to the death of a popular gospel artist who lost her life at the hands of her husband. This was so unfortunate, but due to domestic violence, she succumbed to her injuries. We are going to be asking some questions and searching the scriptures for the response to some of these questions you may not hear discussed in church. Like, for example, at times, the people who are closest to you are the ones who try to create problems in your marriage. Why is that? This can be a variety of different reasons. One being jealousy, one being familiarity, and another is just the devil and his agents. So you constantly have to ask the Lord for wisdom so that you have discerning abilities and know who is for you or who is against you. When seeking a life partner, let the Lord choose for you. This we will discuss in another post. However, it is important as it determines the distance your marriage will go and the condition it will be in weeks, months, or even years to come. They say that your net worth is your net worth, as it involves covenant. The Bible tells us that when you marry, you and your wife becomes one, and you have to become a man and leave your parents' home. Genesis 2:24. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. You're now an adult and have to make the decisions for your family because your parents invested all their lives depositing good qualities in you. So you are now to move on from their house to yours and become your own man and leader in control of your own territory and gain the respect from your wife. Another question asked, can your childhood affect your marriage? The truth is, some of us had a really bad or no parenting when we were growing up. Sad to say, back in those days, in the early 80s, 90s, and even now, persons migrated to Western countries in search of greener pastures, leaving their children behind. Many didn't look back, but instead grew their kids on material things to make up for that loss. These children are now the adults of today who are struggling and trying to make sense of their lives because most of our mothers and fathers were not available to equip us with what we needed to survive, what we needed to become the leaders of today. We had to figure out a lot of issues that the child we were back then should not have had to worry about. We were exposed to the unthinkable, and many of us didn't gain the privilege of even having a childhood. That is why our society is the way it is today, with many broken families, because the foundation has been affected. Psalms 11:3 asks us this question: if the foundation be destroyed, what can the righteous do? The only way one can overcome the pain they suffered in childhood is by having faith in Jesus and allowing him to rearrange our foundation. When a broken person enters a marriage, there will be constant quarrels and bickering unless God intervenes and gives you the right partner who will help you find purpose. Many parents back then were themselves broken and got themselves mixed up in activities they had no business in, but God can fix a broken home and a broken marriage if you allow him. What if one spouse is is more educated than the other. Should there be efforts to improve oneself? Yes, definitely. It's never too late to go back to school or learn a new skill, especially in this period where the Bible tells us that in the last days, knowledge shall increase. There are numerous online courses that one can do from the comfort of your own home. Especially since the pandemic, there has been a vast amount of information that has been made available to the public. All you have to do is search for it. What if one person is earning more? Should there be competition and jealousy? No, there shouldn't be competition or jealousy within your marriage, because if you are two understanding adults, you should know that if your wife is promoted, then automatically you win, as there will be more food in the bread basket. Your household will experience increase. And likewise, wives, help your husband to reach his fullest potential by supporting him. If he wins, you will win as well. Don't throw the fact that you might be earning more money in your wife or your husband's face. What about women or men who marry into a family and immediately starts getting jealous of their husband or wife's brother or sister and tries to take the sister-in-law or the brother-in-law's position just to acquire material possession that family may have? There are people like that marries with an agenda. However, that is why it is important to spot red flags and stop them before they become a disaster. You can do so by seeking counsel from your pastor or even someone who has been in a successful marriage. There are various ways you can go about spotting red flags. The devil can send his agent and you end up marrying that person, and before you realize what has happened, everything is destroyed. Suddenly, you and your brother is no longer communicating the way you used to, and your sister is against you because there's a snake hissing at his back. An example of what I'm talking about is, I'll share the stories with you. This young man was living with his mother. He was a Christian and would often take his mother, who wasn't a believer, to church with him. He started to get bored with this lifestyle and living arrangement, so he started surfing the internet for a wife. He suddenly met a woman online. They went out together, and within a few days, he introduced her to his mother, who he lived with alone. The mother was a single retired medical professional. Likewise, her son was also in the medical field, so they lived in a middle class gated community. This woman in question was an aide working on a lower income. However, she saw opportunity. She immediately started planning and scheming. So she started sleeping over at their house. On each visit, she left some piece of clothing in the bedroom where the son resided. With each visit, she left a piece of clothing in the son's bedroom. However, the son didn't seek wise counsel, nor was he interested in anyone saying anything to him. Sad to say, but the Bible says wisdom is too high for a fool. Before anyone realized what was happening, she was the one making all the decisions in the house until they eventually got married, moved the mother in a nursing home, and she divorced the young man and eventually moved her new boyfriend in. And of course, he was left homeless. Then everything they ever worked for went into the hands of a strange woman. Proverbs 5 talks about her, the strange woman. We will discuss her in another post. This story is most unfortunate, but it happens. You have to have the fear of the Lord before he will give you his wisdom. Wisdom is the key ingredient in every aspect of life. We need it. The Bible tells us in Proverbs 7 verse 4, it says, "Say to wisdom, you are my sister, and call understanding your newest kin."